Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday and happy early day. We're doing another surprise early start. I keep warning y'all, make sure you're not only subscribed, but you ring the notification bell because sometimes we just pop up without warning. Granted, there was warning, but it was for an hour from now. But details. Welcome, everyone. So lovely to see y'all. Lil, hello, how are you? Rushed,
little rushed, just a little bit.
Same.
Well, I had a damn show up, and I just happened to pop over and saw the chat, and I was like, "Oh, holy crap!" So I started running and throwing on the first shirt I could find, so I wasn't in my pajamas and no makeup. Hi.
Hello. I know the feeling. I'm like, no makeup, but literally this is the head I wear around the house, right? I'm technically able to be on camera. So like, in fact, we don't even have to do that. I could do a show like this. Like it's fun. But like we're doing the history of the lesbian island today. So we can get away with no makeup.
Yeah, and I also
Probably.
did not have a chance to arrange my dogs like I normally do. So I've got one on this side, which is not super common. I've got Daisy right here. So this might, and my dogs, I have realized, are apparently lesbian too, because Kip has taken a liking to Daisy lately. So yes, that's what I have been dealing with.
All we need is a Subaru, and
Yeah.
we're like,
The funny
Or
thing,
Okay, so
the
first
funny
of
thing
all,
is, oh, go ahead.
there's a poll in the chat.
Mhm.
How much do y'all in the chat, thank you for joining us, but how much do you know about the island of lesbians? Do you know about it because you keep confusing it with thespians?
Oh
Is
my
it
God,
just a
I
pretty
know people
place
do that.
in Greece to you? Is it all about Sappho and her acolytes, shall we say? Her roommates, perhaps? Or do you know it from the Iliad, maybe?
Hmm.
Because it shows up there too.
Pretty much all of the above, but it's been a really long time since I've looked into Greek mythology and Greek stuff. So,
Well, the cool thing is that the Greeks had more than just mythology. They were probably the first culture in Europe to start writing their shit down. So
mhm,
we have some records.
yes.
Fortunately, the Christians didn't bother to destroy many of their ancientest records, and so we still know things like when a certain ruler took over, or a coup happened, or so on and so forth. That's one of the reasons that we aren't certain today that Socrates ever actually existed, because the only record of him seems to be in Plato's writings, which seem to
Hmm.
be at least partially fictional. So, I mean, if there were a person who became like, oh, I forget what the hell they called them, but one of the rulers of Athens, and then was later executed for treason, that would almost definitely have wound up in someone's histories, and nada. So, well, who knows? I mean, it could be that it's a lost record, as the Christians like to say. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. But
Hmm.
considering how much of Greek history still survives besides the mythologies, it would be a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I had two other things I wanted to mention. This is what happens when I'm rushed. I'm not fully prepared, but it's okay. We'll do it live, as they say in the business. The show must go on. Those things. So I'm just about ready to launch the new show, which it's going to be in the afternoon, evening-ish, and it's going to be a vertical stream for the purpose of engagement in an educational sense. There's so many channels that already have that debate me bro flavor. I want to do as our holy lady of Canada has commanded us, Shannon Q, and attempt to elevate the discourse and like talk to people. I know it probably won't work out very well. This is the reason I was passed over by the ACA, because when they were considering me as a host, my pitch was Matt Dillahunty is very effective at what he does, but
Hmm.
we need one of him. Having everyone try to be Matt Dillahunty, it's becoming counterproductive, you
It,
know?
yeah, and I agree. I mean, I was kind of debating on doing something sort of similar on my channel because the way you do it is going to be different from the way I do it and vice versa.
Mhm.
So, but it's one of those things that it's like I said, like I had said yesterday, is I think it's good to get exposed to other viewpoints because it helps you understand at least if even if you don't agree with them, you can see where their thought process is, and that gives you the ability to say, "Hey, this might actually change their minds." And it's easier. It makes it easier to talk to people when you have some idea of why they think what they think.
Well, yes, there's some epistemology to it too,
Hmm.
but also it goes to what I've been saying for a while about
Hmm.
how it's a lot easier to teach someone something if you can
Yeah,
connect the thing they're struggling with to something they're already interested in.
yeah.
If you just point out their hypocrisy, that can be useful. It can cause cracks in that impenetrable facade of faith.
Hmm.
But in order to reach them, you have to actually build the bridge and
Yeah.
connect what you're trying to teach them to something that they already care about.
Hmm.
And that's going to be what I'm going to attempt to do. It may or may not work that way.
I think you're gonna do great with it.
We'll see. But I am at a bit of a crux. TLDR, do I want to put it on this channel, which is already monetized? and risk fucking up the audience and the vibes and stuff. Because if people come to that thing and say the chat does turn into a garbage fire, because I don't expect the lovely mods who have so much patience and whatnot to put up with the kind of crap that might show up there. If they subscribe and they start coming to all the other shows, that would be great for views, but not so great for the community. I could put it on another channel, but then it would have no viewers, no subscribers, and have to build everything organically. But it would not contaminate this community. So I'm torn.
I would say you have fantastic mods. You have very experienced mods that are real quick at stamping out the bullshit. Like I said, stream that you did a little bit ago, the intersection one, the mods were, I mean, I mod professionally for my boss's YouTube channel, and they were getting stuff before I could get to it, which is saying something on how good they are. I mean, your mods are fantastic, and yeah, I mean, I don't think they would have a problem with helping out with that to keep this community good.
Maybe not. I mean, like right now we've got Pragmatic Crystal in the chat, whom we appreciate the hell out of. I in fact, I'll see if I can find the Pragmatic Crystal video from the Apostate Sisters did a little celebration for PC a little while back, and I sent in a video for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but she's got a lot to do. She's like flitting from channel to channel, and also some of the other mods, like Andrew, for example, appreciate the hell out of her, but she's not a fan of vertical shows because they tend to bring in so much trash. And I'm not gonna be like, I need all of you to come. Like,
DM me if I'm available.
Kind of yeah.
DM me if I'm available. I'll do it. I don't mind.
Well, we'll see. But I mean, another consideration is, while I am trying to build this channel and the community here, I don't want to build it with the horrible, harmful people. Not to be an echo chamber. So I wrote up introductory notes for the first show, and it's not censorship to ask that people behave at the same behavioral standard we have for small children in public.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't be more adult than a small child, it's not censorship to tell you to fuck off. Grow up and learn how to behave, Yeah.
Like, one of the rules on my server that we have on there is we expect everybody here to either be an adult or at the very least act like it. And if you're not going to do that, you're not going to be here. That's all there is to it. Like, if you can't act like an adult, bye.
Yar. All right, real quick. Chemical Squirrel asks, I don't know what the Trevor Project is. Can you tell me about it? Sure can. So the Trevor Project, you'll see a whole bunch of LGBT allies raising money for it from time to time. They do a bunch of different things, but the main thing they do is run an LGBT suicide hotline. I almost switched to unaliving, but I'm like, we don't have to do that anymore. Free speech, I guess. There was a national suicide hotline for LGBT, particularly LGBT youth in the US. That was the Trevor Project. The number just forwarded you to the Trevor Project. While the number has been cut, the Trevor Project and its own number still exist. And in this age of increasing hatred and aggressive antipathy towards people who are maybe a little different, their work is a lot more important than ever, which is why so many different people, even straight cis allies, are putting so much effort into fundraising for them. My
mother, who you would not expect, like, she's basically like a centrist Democrat now, but she still considers herself conservative, goes to church every Sunday, has Bible study. She supports the Trevor Project. Because she's like, regardless of what I personally think, which she's never told me what she personally thinks, but she's like, regardless of what I personally think, these resources should be available to people. And she donates to them. And she's not the kind of person that you wouldn't necessarily be able to pick out on the street and say, yes, she donates to the Trevor Project. There's people all over the place that donate to them for many, many reasons. And I'm pretty sure she donates to them because of me. So...
See what you did? But yeah,
Me and my
that's the
e-boys.
thing. Just existing, just being public, just being open. Again, nobody should ever feel like they have to come out of the closet. But if you are in a place where you can, if you're secure enough, if you're safe enough, and so on and so forth, please consider doing so, because you just being you will not only give you, hopefully, a happier life, but it'll be a beacon to all the people around you that, yeah, we're just normal people. We just exist. We just want to exist.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
it's like,
even encourage other people to come out. They'll be like,
yeah.
"Oh, Willa's out. Maybe I won't be instantly murdered."
Yeah, I mean, and the way how I always put it to people is like, if it's between two consenting adults, or if it's even just between consenting adults, it could be more than two. But if it's between consenting adults, why the hell do you care? Like, what gives you the right to even give a shit what they are doing in their bedroom? It's not affecting you. Why do you care? And most people that are reasonable that I've brought up to, they're like, you know what, you're right. I'm like, it doesn't affect you at all. Why do you care?
Yeah, they don't know why they care either. It's because they were
Yeah,
told to, and they don't realize they're just doing what
yeah.
someone told them to do.
A lot of people, especially because, like I've said, I'm neck deep in politics and the political discourse all the time. A lot of what I've realized over the past, oh my God, how many years have I been doing this? Almost 13, 14 years. Is a lot of people are reasonable. And once you actually challenge them on why they think something, they're like, you're right. I really don't. Most people will admit that they don't have a good reason for that. 9 times out of 10, if they still are like, well, I'm still against it, I can usually get them to admit, well, I just don't like it. Okay, that's at least an honest reason. You can at least admit you just don't like it. But the question still remains, why do you care? If it's not affecting you, why do you care?
We must destroy the different people and the defectives and oh, sorry, did I slip into a certain accent there? Never mind. My goodness.
Yeah.
All right, what was I saying?
I was about to say I hear that accent more often than I would personally like, but it's my job. So
Did you see that the origin? Okay, so we're going to talk about tyrants a little bit because it's part of the history we're going to delve into. Did you see that the wannabe tyrant has put up new posters celebrating America's 250th anniversary, which is not this year, but never mind that. And whoever because they're so utterly incompetent at everything, they used one of his mug shots for the big brother photo on the banner. They used a fucking mug shot. Like, yes, the criminal president. Oh my goodness.
And
it's hilarious.
The thing that's super encouraging with me is, like I've said, I am in this political discourse up to my neck. Is you see a lot of people who normally were not involved or even were lean conservative are like, dude, I'm not okay with this shit. And they're actually standing up and doing something about it, which is encouraging, especially considering the lack of stuff that we saw last time around and everything that happened since then. But it's encouraging to see people being like, no, this is not okay. Of like regular people. Yeah.
There's a lot. Zorkros says the USA is not a safe place for coming out. True. That could be fatal if a fascist/theocratic dictatorship is not averted.
I say let them come after me
now, and that's why I understand if people don't feel safe coming out,
yeah.
they shouldn't. So, in January of this past year, there was a trans veteran who hung herself in the next city over because she was about to lose medical care because she was trans.
Mm-hmm.
In another city about an hour away from me, Sam Nordquist was tortured to death by a group of 5 red hats. And 10 days after the inauguration, some motherfucker in a red hat came out of the woods, raped me, and stabbed me. And I survived, but it's not because of good wishes. It's already fatal.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we need to come out, if we can, is to show them these fuckers, they're not going to stop us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, the funny thing about that is this entire time, so you guys know that I work for Kyle Kalinske at Secular Talk. He had come out and he had posted something about a dead podcaster's wife, right? Got picked up, and now everybody's coming after him. He had put out this video. He's like, bring it on, guys. Come on. And it's one of those things that it's like, I'm glad to see, especially people like my boss, like us, who are out there, and it's like, we're out here. Like, what are you going to do about it? We are already here, and we're the ones that are standing up for all the people who don't have the platform and all the people who can't speak out for whatever reason. That's why people like us and people who the No Kings protest, people who can go should go. That's why that kind of stuff is so important right now. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Like, so yeah.
As I often warn people, it is dangerous. It is. Please don't take it for granted how dangerous it is.
Oh yeah,
like,
I've had that threats.
Everybody points at Martin Luther King and says what a great thing he did with his peaceful protests and all this. He was still assassinated. You can do everything right and they will still fucking kill you. So please be careful. Yeah. But don't ever stop either.
Yeah.
Do what you can where you can.
Yeah, I've had death threats. I've been recognized in my little town just from his channel. And even my son, who I do not particularly agree with a lot of political stuff, not human rights stuff, but political stuff, he's just like, let them try and come after you. They're going to have to go through me to get to you. And it's like, it's nice to have that backup, but yeah, it's like, we can't stop either. We're out there. So, yeah, it's scary, but we also have support, which is what makes the difference with that.
Mm-hmm. Lawrence points out King couldn't have done it without Malcolm X and vice versa. I agree. I often say you need both, and they both got just as assassinated.
Yeah.
But it does take both. Saying we can do this all with peaceful protests and love and sausages, it's not going to get it done. Not by itself.
I mean, I know what my limits are on what I will do, but I don't control everybody. I can only control myself. So.
Okay, happier topic.
Woohoo!
The one other note before we actually get into the main topic of the show, and I'm a little more liberal with the opening today because we're starting so very early. A lot of people are just getting notifications and going, "Oh shit, Ember started early. What's going on?" So I'm feeling free to just, communicate, I suppose. Who's Kate? Do I know Kate? What's going on? Actually, so Sunday, I didn't do a show this past Sunday. People who caught the previous Sunday show know that was the last normal scheduled Sunday show because it just wasn't doing anything. But I've been planning to do something on Sunday, possibly the new show I've been talking about. I don't know for sure, but I had a photo job. And as you probably know, if you've been around a minute, I also lost my job because of transphobia. I was at a company where they were accepting when I started, but then things changed as we got closer to the election, and then the election happened, and then so on and so on and so on. Things TLDR, they tortured me for a fucking year until I physically could not work anymore. And so I'm taking what jobs I can where I can. Photography, I used to be a professional photographer a couple of years ago. And so basically, I got hired to do senior photos. They said it's fine if I show some of the photos. So I wanted to show one in particular because it's a senior yearbook photo. and they have very specific rules. It has to be from the waist up. Hands have to be visible so they're not cropped off. The smile has to be on a 1/3 line. This technically follows all of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And like the family and I both love how it like completely inverts expectations. Like they're trying so hard to tell you what you have to do, and we found a different way to do it.
I love that.
Also, it includes that little bit of silliness, that
Mm-hmm.
really sets a person apart. So I wanted to share that with y'all as well, because I meant to do it yesterday, but y'all know how I get so distracted.
I don't even think I have any senior pictures. And my graduation photos got ruined, so I don't even think I have any.
I don't think I do either, come to think of it.
Yeah, because my senior year, I skipped my junior year, but they hadn't updated my status until like almost November, and they had already done all the senior photos by that point. They're like, "Well, sorry," and I'm like, "Okay." So I think I ended up just using my school picture for it.
But
I didn't.
I've been
really...
poor my entire life. I grew up on a farm. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have much money.
Yeah.
So I never actually got a copy of my own yearbook. I have no idea what photo they
I
used
neither
for me.
did I. Yeah, I didn't get one of my yearbook. The only huge thing that I got my senior year, and I found out that my parents have been saving up for this for years, was they got me my class ring, which I still don't know why, because of course after senior year I never wore it. But they did that, and then they got me the prom dress that I wanted, even though it was really expensive at the time. But my mom, because she's like, look, you're going to wear it at least twice, because my boyfriend went to a different school. So she's like, you're going to wear it at least twice. This is your senior prom. You're going to remember it for the rest of your life. We're making sure. And of course, they were thinking that they weren't going to have a wedding to pay for at least another 5 or 6 years. But that ended up being the next year. So
Ambitious.
yeah, and it wasn't the same guy. It was someone. Yeah.
I never went to, any of my own proms. I got bullied into going to a prom after I graduated because a friend had a girlfriend who was still in high school. It's a little bit weird, but they were only 1 year apart in age, so it's not that weird. And his girlfriend had a bunch of friends who had nobody. And so she kind of bullied all of my friends' friends into escorting someone. It was a time.
I've never seen the thing about not going to a formal by yourself, because in my era, so like I graduated in 2002. It was starting to get popular to just go with like a group of people and not necessarily have like dates in that group, but it was like 5, 6, 7, 8 friends that would all go together. But
Ryan's up in here being all piratical.
Yeah, but when it came to my prom, like I have finally had the entire year to get to know people there, so I have friends at prom. But like homecoming, I didn't have any friends there yet, because it was like 6 weeks in, and I barely knew anybody because I was new. So, but prom was fun, and then he had, of course, grown up with the people that he went to school with, because it was a Catholic school, which, of course, you can imagine the insane after parties that happened with that one. So,
getting to know the Holy Spirits.
I
go to post-prom parties. I'm pretty sure the grass is still dead and brown in that one spot I threw up, but never mind that.
Yes, I was introduced to gin that night, and dear God, I have not touched it since.
Vodka for me. I walk into this party, and there's the senior there, who's a little bit of a comedian. We only knew each other, like an acquaintance thing. We had a few mutual friends, but I had a general vibe of the fella. And he goes, not Ember, because that wasn't my name at the time, but let's say, Ember, Have you ever had vodka? Why, no, friend, I haven't. Oh, well, come with me then. And he lays out 4
Yeah.
shot glasses and he pours them and then he
I
lights the first 3 and holy shit, they're on fire. And he's like, drink those. And well, I was the sort of kid who was like, challenge accepted, bitches, and blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, all for it. And then I'm like, okay, so what? And he goes, give it 15 minutes and then come back and see me again. So 15 minutes later, I was feeling much more adventurous. And so I come back and see him. And he pours 3 more and he lights the first one. And he's like, now drink these. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, what now? He's like, you should be good for the rest of the night. Fam, I could not even pass out because the room wouldn't stop spinning.
Oh my
Like, I could not even pass out.
Oh my god, wow. Yeah, that was my one experience with gin, and I have not been able to touch it since. And that was 23 years ago, 24 years ago, something like that. No, and even now, like today, like I might have a beer or a glass of wine with dinner. I might have a cocktail every now and then, but I don't drink that much anymore. Because even having like 2 glasses of wine, whether I feel it or not, it is going to give me a headache the next morning. Even 2 beers will do that to me.
That's a hangover, dear. You're
It's
supposed to
but
hydrate
the
and
thing is,
shit.
I don't feel it like at all. I'm not even tipsy, and I wake up and I'm just
You
like,
don't
oh,
have
holy god.
to. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know, the thing that causes hangovers, I know
Mhm.
everybody's got an old wives' tale or something. The actual science is the
Mhm.
alcohol displaces water in your nerve cells, in your neurons, in your brain.
Mhm.
And when they get dehydrated, they don't work as well. And when the synapses start misfiring, that's what you perceive as a headache. The
Mhm.
solution is before you pass out, whether you're tipsy or not, whatever, drink like as much water as you comfortably can, and you're certain you won't pee the bed. Maybe
Yeah.
even take a Tylenol. It
Mhm.
actually does help because it reduces the swelling from the
Yeah.
irritation. But just
Yeah.
water, and give it a few hours, like when you're sleeping. You will never have
Yeah.
a freaking hangover again. And if you need water, good water, to help with your
Yes.
hangover, well, good news, folks. We have a solution for you. Hey folks, I've been working hard on my health, and so far I've lost over 140 pounds. A huge part of good health is hydration. That's why I'm thrilled to partner with Epic Water Filters. Check this out. Not only can you say goodbye to expensive bottled water, but these filters are made in the US, so no tariffs, and they're made to fit your life. From these lovely pitchers I can fill from, to sink units, to portable filters that fit in your reusable bottle. With Epic, I can refill from nature's water sources and not have to worry about bacteria and whatnot. But also, send back a used filter to be responsibly recycled, and they'll send you a free replacement, saving you and the earth even more. Want to save a ton of money, be healthier, and build a better world? Head to epicwaterfilters.com and enter code EMBER15 at checkout for 15% off. Don't settle for random water. Upgrade to Epic. It sure was an epic ad. I'm so tickled that we finally have a fucking sponsor. Well, partner, but
I
detail.
decided to grab a bite of my Reese's while we were in the middle of the commercial and I didn't finish chewing on time.
Try not to die while we're on the air.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I try not to die all the time. If I ever get the money for another tattoo, for those of you who are new, this tattoo over here says "Take what you can" because Avast, obviously. Do take what you can, obviously. This side is going to get "Try not to die," which is like my lifelong slogan. Like all the crazy shit I do or gets done to me, I try not to die. I'm still not entirely sure why, but that's what's going to go there at some point.
It works.
Yeah.
The only writing I have on me, I've got Morts Decontactus on my arm, and then I've got a Tool lyric on my back that I really like. And that's it. But the one on my back is in Tolkien's Elvish, and it's flipped upside down. I am a nerd.
No.
No,
I hadn't
not at
noticed.
all. Just a little bit.
But you're not just any random nerd. You're a history nerd.
Very much so.
And
As
that
in,
leads
that's-
me to today's actual topic.
Mhm.
We actually didn't tangent that much before. You know, I mean, we went a little longer than we normally do, but not that much. We're actually, we may be getting good at this or something. So Lesbos, island in the Aegean Sea. I don't like this display. Can I move it? Yeah, let's be in the corner. This will be fine. Okay, so this is a World History Encyclopedia thing, right? So there's a lot more to Lesbos than just Sappho living there. Here's a quick timeline on the side here. As far back as 1000 BCE, settlers from Thessaly, which I guess is a nearby Greek thing or something, arrived. So that, you know, people have been there for 3,000 years ish. 650 BCE, Pittacos, the elected tyrant of Mytilene. Elected tyrant? What's that about? That's a fascinating concept, isn't it? So it was a little bit of a joke. There was an actual tyrant, and a technical tyrant, by definition, is a person who legitimately seizes power, like they get elected, for example. But however they get power, they use that power to undermine and erase democracy, to both crush their opposition and to prevent themselves ever losing power. That's what makes a tyrant. And the island of Lesbos had a tyrant. This dude, not this is Sappho. This Pittacos person. Maybe I can pull up a picture of him. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to it later. He and like 3 others overthrew a tyrant, a person who'd been elected into office, and then used his power to eliminate elections and imprison or kill his political opponents. Which, as in a rational democracy, people would rise up against the person, not because they're on the same side as the political opponents, but in defense of the political system. And I'm slightly distracted because I'm seeing a lot of people saying no in the chat, and I'm like, am I really
someone asked if atheists believe in evil spirits. And I said, I don't. Some atheists do, though.
Okay. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Let me clear up something real quick. When someone says they're atheists, all that means is that they lack a belief in God. That's it. It speaks to nothing else. Just belief in God.
Yeah, I have met atheists who are still spiritualists. They believe in dead people or good vibes, evil vibes, whatever vibes. Just, I mean, hell, there's theistic atheists, if that makes sense, in that they believe in a supernatural hierarchical power structure, but not gods. Like, say, fairies are real, or even angels are real. They're just not gods.
I know somebody who, one of my really good friends actually believes in the supernatural, believes in witchcraft, all that stuff, but has no belief in God. So, technically, qualifies as an atheist. There is no belief in God.
Yeah. So that's all that means.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, most atheists, well, even most may be a stretch. It may be an oversimplification. But atheist is not the same as a naturalist, which just means no belief in the supernatural.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a naturalist, you're automatically an atheist. But being an atheist doesn't mean there are atheists who deny evolution, for fuck's sake. You don't even have to agree on facts to be an atheist. It's wild. Okay, so Pittacos, he helped overthrow this tyrant dude, and then the reconstituted legislative body, whatever the fuck they were called, they were like, hey, you don't seem to care about politics. You just want to protect the system. You want to protect our civilization. So we're going to make you overlord of the city for a 10-year period. You will have effectively limitless power. You will be dictator for a 10-year period. Will you help get our bullshit back on track after all the damage Donald Trump, I mean, the previous guy did to our civilization? And he was like, it would be my great honor. And so he took up the mantle of tyrant. And at the end of the 10 years, he walked away and never looked back. Because to him, the function of the system matters much more than any single political point. Because I mean, that's the whole point, right? The entire point is it doesn't matter what people think or what they agree with or what they don't, or how riled up they get on the Senate floor. As long as they're talking, as long as they're negotiating, they're not killing each other.
Yeah.
That's the point. Let the system get as unpleasant as it wants. It's use of the system that matters because it prevents major bloodbaths.
Yeah. It really does.
Yar. So that's that guy's thing. 650 BCE, the tyrant of Mytilene. Oh, I'm so bad at I'm such an American. I can't pronounce anything. 630, aristocrats remove the ruling Pentide clan from power. So they got sick of that shit. that may be the thing I was talking about earlier, because that's only when Pittacos is only 20 years old. So that may have been the aristocrats removing the ruling power is what started the tyrant thing. There's a lot more to dig into. This is just a timeline. 620 is when Sappho was actually, alive. So we're getting there. And then after Sappho, there was a historian named Hellenicus. Let's go with Hellenicus. It's fine. The city of Mytilene, which apparently they're doing big things there. In 428, they revolted against the Athenian dominion of the Delian League. I'm not even familiar with that one. So there's a bunch of other stuff going on. Athens apparently was in control of the island. They revolted. It didn't work because the island has been controlled by a whole bunch of different people over the years, as happens when you live in the middle of where empires intersect. 231, the village city of Pyrrha is destroyed by an earthquake. 168, Romans destroy Antissa, another city. 84 BCE, Roman general and politician Lucullus captures the island. So now it's totally a Roman possession again. And Mytilene sacked by the Romans after the city supported Mithridates VI. So yeah, we're still well before Jesus, and there's so much history going on there. And they've only in the 20th century did it get to become part of Greece again. It's been ruled by, we'll just read the thing. Lesbos, or Lesvo, or Levbos. In Greek, it's slightly different. There's a V in there somewhere. Is a Greek island located in the Eastern Aegean and had several prosperous city-states which thrived from the Bronze Age to the Byzantine era, switching many times between independence, Persian, and Greek control. Lesbos was often a victim of its geographical location on the edge of the Hellenistic world. The island was famous in antiquity. The ancient times. Times so ancient, the ancients called it ancient. Antiquity. Its wine and its culture, producing many famous names over the century, notably the poetess Sappho, the statesman Pittacos, and the philosopher Theophrastus. I really should practice these names first, but that would require time to get dressed and put on makeup also. Mythology. Yes, it comes up in mythology. The island is the birthplace of the hero Lesbos, hence the name. The island features in the Trojan War of Homer's Iliad, notably when Agamemnon offers Achilles, among other things, 7 women from Lesbos skilled in handicrafts in order to persuade the hero to join the conflict. Note on that, as you may be aware, the Iliad, not actually a nonfiction story. There is some evidence that seems to suggest Achilles was either a woman from Lesbos doing a Milan and like dressed in male armor and unbeatable and so on and so forth, or was a trans woman, because there were a whole lot of big, strong hero supermen from Greece.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Overcompensating their masculinity because they were trans women. And as soon as they found out there was a safe place where they could receive what we might consider medical care, they took right the fuck off for Lesbos and never left. And that's why Agamemnon had to go to Lesbos to drag Achilles away for the war, because Achilles was trying to transition and was possibly even partway through. But it's just a possibility, although there have been authors who've taken those fragments of history, those suggestions and hints, and built them into entire stories. One of the coolest I've seen is called Wrath Goddess Sing. It's a completely fictional story where Helen of Troy is the bad guy of the Trojan War, but it's so much fun. And it starts off with Athena appearing to Achilles and saying, if we're going to win this war, we need you. And Achilles is like, I'm not leaving. I'm finally able to become a woman. And so Athena goes, you're a woman now. And she is. And then off to war we go. Like, if only it were that easy. Athena could just, ta-da! My goodness. It's an interesting alternate history with magic in it, which in a way makes it no less true than the Iliad. Because there's magic in that too.
Exactly. By the way, yes, I am a historian. I am not a Greek specialist by any stretch of the imagination. That my area of history is much more modern. So just FYI. Just because I'm a historian doesn't mean all of history.
All the spinny skirts. That's why all the Greeks had it. That's right. Yeah.
I like the spinny skirts.
I know.
They're fun.
Especially when they have pocketses. Pocketses. Okay, let's see. Agamemnon must have known of the great warrior's admiration of the women of Lesbos. Because Achilles had brought one as his partner for the duration of the war. Not to be confused with Hector, Achilles' boyfriend. They were roommates. They were really good friends, because when your roommate gets killed in a war where people are getting killed, you naturally go and like wipe out an entire battalion to get to the guy who killed him, and then drag his body around the city in your chariot.
Of course.
Out of pure revenge. Clearly, they were just roommates. It's fine. Again, Iliad is slightly fictional. Just a little bit. It's a literary thing. Like the stories of the Bible. I know a lot of you folks here, you care very much about why the Bible says what it says. A lot of what's in the Bible is not because it's true, but because it's using literary tropes to try to convey a message other than facts. It's like Aesop's fables, right? It's not literally true, but there is still some wisdom to be found there if you look at it the right way.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I digress. So let's see. The king also mentions in passing that Achilles had captured the island, presumably on the way to Troy, and that it had then been part of the Trojan Empire of King Priam. So Achilles may have liberated Lesbos, but whatever excuse you want to paint it, Achilles went to Lesbos. It's in the Iliad. It's literally scripture. Because fun thing about scripture, it just means it's written down. It's written words. Script is writing, right? It's just handwriting. It is written by hand. It is scripture. I always found that funny. Oh, it's scripture truth. No, that's not. I can write stuff on paper too. That makes it scripture. It doesn't even have to be paper. It could be papyrus, but never mind. Is papyrus the sheepskin one? Is my brain giving me false?
Papyrus is the reeds that they were put down in two different
That's what I'm like. No, papyrus is closer to paper than the other thing. Vellum is the thing I'm thinking of. At least I caught my brain misfiring this time. Clearly, I need more coffee. All right, so the island hangs out a little bit in the Odyssey. Telemachus tells some stories there. Stuff about Philomedes, the king of Lesbos, who oh, that's right. This fucker. So the king, he loved to wrestle. He would take on anybody, despite the fact he was the king, and it was generally inappropriate to do that sort of thing. But then along comes this hero who takes the king up on his challenge and then fucking kills him. Oh, I'm bigger and stronger than the king. And that makes him a hero because he just murdered somebody in a sports ball match. Fucking hell. What are your thoughts on that? I needed to do something, and now I can't remember what it was. It's fine. What are your thoughts on the Iliad generally?
Honestly, I don't have that many because it has been probably 20 years since I read it. I do think that's the Trojan War one, right? I know. I'm not up on my Greek. I do think it's interesting that they finally found Troy, or where they think Troy was in Turkey, as far as the more modern day. But other than that, I haven't been digging into Greek stuff since like high school, so I'm a little out of the loop on it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't covered it much myself either, because weirdly we get so hyper focused on these 2,000-year-old Palestinian stories.
Yeah,
So much
just
even
that's
older
kind of where my
stuff with a
focus has
lot
been
more
for the
cool
last
shit.
couple of years. So, and before that, it's obviously for me much more modern history. So, like 20th century modern history. So,
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Hello everyone who's joining us on time. We started early again. Which is why it's important to keep your notifications turned on, because you never know when we're going to pop up. But thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. We are exploring the history of Lesbos despite numerous ads for various things. Although I may go back to this video because it looks like it's a world history encyclopedia video on Sappho. And Sappho is indisputably the most famous figure from Lesbos, at least since the mid 20th century, when people are like, look, a famous lesbian from ages and ages ago. In fact, where the name comes from.
I mean, it's one thing that is interesting, that some people want to act like being LGBT is something new. It has been around since humans have been around.
Indeed, being straight is new. Like the concept of not being bi, right? Like just being heterosexual, no deviation, nothing else. That's pretty new in human civilization. For the longest time, everybody was just attracted to who you're attracted to, and no one cared. There was no gay because there was no straight. Everyone is what we today might call pan, And then for a while, the Greeks and some others went through a period where they were like, well, only men can really understand other men. So it's only really possible for men to love each other. And same for women. Only women can really love each other. You bring men and women together to produce offspring, to have heirs and shit. But actual love is for your same gender. And so there's that whole thing. But yeah, this whole thing with men are only attracted to women, that's never been true ever. And the concept is shockingly new.
Yeah, and I mean, even like all the way up until like even just like a century or two ago, like there were numerous stories about royals and nobles in Europe, because those are the people that we have the most records for, of clearly being gay or clearly being bi or clearly being lesbian. And everybody's like, as long as you produce offspring, we don't care. Like, whatever. Just go on and do your thing. I mean, it's one of those things that it was just like, and there's no reason to assume that wasn't also the case among the more common people too, of just kind of do whatever you want as long as you have your children within wedlock. Therefore, the church is okay with it.
Yeah,
Who
that was
cares?
just a church control thing. That used to be different before the church got all controlly and whatnot, like ancient traditions. Yeah, there were marriages in the Hellenistic traditions. All of the churches did things a little bit differently. If you went to the Temple of Athena, your marriage would be a little different than at the Temple of Poseidon. But they did the things. But the point there wasn't to control you. It was to beseech a particular god for a blessing upon your union and the health of your offspring. May my son grow up to be a great sailor, or have prosperous farms, or whatever the fuck they're likely to inherit, or maybe become a scholar, or even a stand-up philosopher and go on to make great movies or something. It's a Mel Brooks reference, but never mind. I'm old. Jester sends us a super chat for $2. Thank you, Jester. And says, I think Odysseus is a bag of ham and eggs.
Yes.
That's like multiple layers of references, and I'm here for it.
This cracks me up. I used to have a teacher back in my private school that her last name was Ham. And she would always come in first day class because it was a small school, so I had her for multiple classes. And she said, let me say this first. I am not related to Ken Ham. Not related. Don't make that reference. And we were like, do you not like Ken Ham? She's like, I can't stand the guy. And I was like, oh my God, thank you.
That's fair. I mean, for a long time, you could just go, who? Who's she? I don't know her. But after the Bill Nye debate, then it was kind of like, okay, I probably should get ahead of this.
Yeah, she's probably the only faculty member from there that I've like kept in touch with over the years. And she sent me a message after the Bill Nye debate. And it's like, holy crap, could he have shit the bed more? And I'm like, no, he couldn't have. It was fantastic.
But it didn't matter. And that's where we learn that this whole concept of debate can possibly be helpful isn't necessarily true. It can be educational and edifying to people of a critical mindset, but to the people who are closed-minded and are just going to believe no matter what, it doesn't matter what's said. It's not going to cause them to question. They're just going to throw money at Ken Ham or whoever is representing the side that clearly fucking lost. Like we see this, I'm not even bad-mouthing debate. Like we see this in other social settings too, right? Like there was that man who got his jaw broken for defending a trans woman, right? Like she was getting harassed and he said, hey, maybe stop that. And they broke his fucking jaw for it, and he ended up having to do a GoFundMe for his medical care because we live in the United States. And he raised like $74,000, which was almost enough to cover it. And
the fact that that's almost enough to cover it when you could buy like a car and a ton of other crap with that is just insanity.
Less a car and other crap at this point. Inflation's getting out of control, but that's completely aside from the point. He did a noble thing, suffered for it, and the entire nation together almost covered the cost of his surgery. Almost. Whereas there was the hateful bigot person who called a 5-year-old a slur and became a millionaire overnight.
Yeah.
There's people like me who I talked earlier about some of the shit that I went through. And I mean, I appreciate the hell out of this community for coming together and trying to help, but all of us together, all of our efforts over the past, 6 months, it's not even 10% of my medical bills, let alone rent or food or whatever. So it's like evil gets rewarded, gets money thrown the fuck at it, and good I mean, it's
Yeah.
good for the people already inclined to want to learn and critical think and so on and so forth, but it's not even comparable. We're playing different games, and we need to figure out how to address that. But
Yeah.
that's my digression. Lawrence sends a super chat for $10. Thank you so much, Lawrence. And says the Iliad only gets good when the death spiral begins. And then it ends with basically Achilles making up with Hector's father and giving back the body. Lame. And also, the boyfriend of Achilles was Patroclus, by the way. Oh, that slut Achilles. Multiple boyfriends. What a hoe. Now, Lawrence is probably, Lawrence is almost certainly right. It's been a
Yeah.
long time for me and a long time for Lil. We're working
Yeah.
with fuzzy memories here. And also, like, this is closer to what Lawrence actually does.
Yeah.
So, but still, that dirty hoe Achilles. I mean, in fairness, if you're a man who is impenetrable, shall we say, who wouldn't want to try that out?
True.
Oh, Lawrence says no, Hector was the bad guy. Damn it, Hector. Oh, I see what you mean. It was Patroclus who got killed, and then Achilles went after Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, probably. Okay, Lawrence has an actual degree specifically in that.
I thought he did. I wasn't sure, but I thought he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it, Hector.
Yeah. It's my degree might be in European history, but it's not modern European history, or it's not ancient European history.
Yar, there's a whole lot of history to history, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's a lot.
People mention something along the lines of it, if you ever need your mind blown, consider that Cleopatra, the famous Cleopatra who hung out with the Caesars, lived closer to today than she did to the pharaohs who built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Like that ancient Egypt is closer to now than to then.
I'll tell you something that blew my mind when I realized it. So my father was born in 1944. Anybody who knows me knows that my era of history falls within the 20 years or so around World War II. It completely floored me when I finally put two and two together to realize that my father was alive in the era of history I study. Like, it took me, it was just, I was just like, holy crap. Like, it's just one of those things that there's kind of this arbitrary border where do we consider this history or not? But then it's also weird to see history books with stuff that you actually, like, it was weird for me to see, like, the World Trade Center in history books, because I was just like, that's not history to me. That's my life. Like, I remember that happening. So it's kind of weird to see it pop up in history books. And it's one of those things that especially around the more modern day, history gets kind of, it gets kind of fluid on whether you consider it history or not. It all depends on what you've been through.
Well, I mean, what happened at the start of the show is already history.
Yeah. What happened a minute ago? What happened 2 seconds ago is technically history. But yeah, it was one of those things that it's like, wait a second, I study this and I have a degree in this, but my father was alive when this was happening. What? So yeah, it's a little disconcerting when you first realize that.
I got that kind of temporal shock from my kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like my oldest was born, my oldest was a month old to the day when September 11th happened. And damn it, Bree.
Bree! I love Bree.
Everyone loves Bree.
Dude, okay. Bree is like fantastic and she always looks amazing. I don't know how she does it, but she does. I've never
deal
seen
with
her
the
know.
devil or something. It's some
Yeah.
kind of witchcraft or sorcery, because like I just can't. Like today we did an early start. I didn't have time to get ready properly, but even when we do start at the normal time, I'm not always able to do more than like just quick eyeliner or something, you know? And Bree is always fucking fabulous. And I mean, I'm in just a regular thing today. Like I was rushed, yes, but still, holy shit, it's amazing. And I will add, Bree's looks are the least impressive thing about her. Like she
Yeah.
knows
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Like they
much
absolutely
about
are. They're
so
the
many
least
things.
impressive thing, but it's just like it's still it blows my mind how smart she is, how engaging she is, and yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of the women in this community. I totally have that imposter syndrome where I'm like, why am I counted among these ladies? I should not be accounted among these ladies. I am not to that level. So it's yeah,
Listen,
but
Brie gives me an inferiority complex.
yeah,
It's something
you
we
all
all
do.
just have to deal with.
Yeah,
Like I mean, we hang out with actual fucking goddesses. We just have to
yeah,
deal with the fact that some people are going to fill us with that sense of holy shit. But the good news is we get to hang out with these amazing, wonderful, just stupidly talented people. Have you ever heard Brie play an instrument? She's musical too. Like what the fuck?
Why am I not
Why?
surprised?
How could there possibly be a just God putting that much awesome into only one person? It's just not fair. It's not fair.
That should make like everybody in the world atheist like immediately, right there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like that this group of ladies is in no exaggeration, and I've known a lot of people, is the most amazing group of people that I've ever known. So I'm lucky to get to hang out with you guys occasionally.
When when we can, when we do, when we etc. When we oop, as the kids say. And that leads me back to what I was starting to say before Brie got me all distracted, and Brie always distracts me, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But my kids, so they were learning about September 11th in school, and they were talking about it the same way I would talk about Pearl Harbor. And I asked them what they thought about Pearl Harbor, and they talked about it the same way. To them, it's just everything before I was here is all equally distant in history because I wasn't here for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's an interesting take. Aunt Jer says, Ember, if you're going to start early, can you call me? I can't even set my alarm for the show because you don't know before the show. Yeah.
I just yeah, Aunt Jer, I literally had about 2 seconds warning because I just happened to flip over to the damn show to see if they had started yet and saw the chat, and I was like, oh, holy crap. So yeah. I had about what, 3 minutes, if that. So,
yeah. I know. Well, I mean, we didn't have to start early, but like there was nothing going on and people were like, Ember, how quick can you start? And I'm like, oh, I have to eat something. Like there, as again, I'm in bad shape, folks. I have to take a lot of medicines, and some of those medicines I have to take with food. So I have to eat something before I get on the show.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, I can get ready really, really quick, especially when I just wear my around the house hat and don't even put on eyeliner. Like I can get on camera fast, but I have to do the mortal things to sustain this, meat robot driven by the ghost in the jar I live in, and all the solipsisms.
I'll try, Lawrence. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll try.
Oh,
I can always
what
ask.
now? This
He
thing?
asked if I could get Kyle on his channel, and I said I can't guarantee anything, but I can absolutely try.
Okay. We must always say what the hell we're talking about, because when we
Yes.
respond to a comment without saying what, everyone gets confused, including me. I'm like, what's happening and who are we talking to? Are you having a breakdown? Are you hearing voices?
Yes. I'm hearing the voices from chat.
Yeah, I mean, there's people
Wouldn't
who
be
do
the
like
first time.
there's a software I want to find somewhere that will do like a text to speech thing. I mean, we've all seen it on clips from like Twitch streamers, especially, but some
Yeah.
people on YouTube, where if like a super chat comes through something, like the robot voice will just pop in and read it. So in a way, it's like chat has an actual voice, which is
Yeah.
kind of neat.
I haven't seen for YouTube, but it's gotta exist out there. I outside of this community, I don't, and Kyle, I don't watch a whole bunch of live stuff, so I don't know. I'll look into it though. I can always ask.
I mostly see it on Jovan's shows. He keeps changing his format though, and I'm not sure which ones that's enabled on, but I've seen it happen on those. But the most frequent place I see it is on the clips from Finster streams, which
okay,
are just delightful and funny, and it's just wonderful seeing her gradually fight her own inhibitions out of her way as she discovers who the fuck she is against her own will. Like, she really doesn't, she wants to just be a dude who plays video games, but she's also very slowly coming to realize she is happier as a woman and she needs to just accept it. Andrew says, what are you drinking, Ember? Today, I have some basic bitch coffee and I have my Epic water, which is just water, but it's run through the Epic filter, thus making it epic. And if you want your water to be epic, you can head over to epicwaterfilters.com and use code EMBER15 for 15% off at checkout. Don't just settle for regular water. Upgrade to epic. I could just play the ad. It's only 60 seconds, but I'm like trying to find a way I can make it quick and snappy so we can do the double entendre thing that we did with the other ad before. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could just see the app, that app playing like 5 times in a show. Everybody's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go get one.
I know, it's so great. It's so great. All right, Lesbos stuff. Tangent upon tangent upon tangent. Let's see. Right, we did the death of the king thing. Okay, in some accounts, the head of Orpheus, the great lyre player. If you think English is hard, the great lyre player washed up on the shores of Lesbos after the poor youth had been ripped to pieces by a group of frenzied Maeonids. Maeonids. There, the muses buried it and built a shrine where birds would sing in such a fashion as to recall his fabulous lost talent. Orpheus's lyre also crushed, broken, destroyed by the Maeonids, is said to have washed up on the island too, where it was discovered by a fisherman and given to the famed 7th century BCE musician and poet Terpander. So maybe we need to Terpander on this a little bit, but yeah, the relics of Orpheus, the only man ever to return from the underworld, except for those other guys who did it too. That's a whole thing. Oh, but it makes me think of Hades Town. See, there's so much of ancient legend that's tied up in what's going on today. If you've ever seen the musical Hades Town, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you should, because it's fabulous. It's really on point with the political stuff. Like, we build a wall to keep us free. Holy shit. But it's also that story. It's the story of Orpheus and what's her name? Penelope? No. Yeah. Okay. I'm not trusting my brain today.
No. Yeah.
Bree says, Finster introduced me to Vlad NCL, who is also adorable and funny. I feel like I've heard that name, but I can't place it. But as we know, I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
Vlad NCL. Let's see. Okay. They're Vlad, together with Nikita, launched a YouTube channel called Vlad Crazy Show, vlogging, role play, advertising, etc. Mobile apps, apparently, all kinds of stuff. But TLDR, just straight up cross-dressing, like Finster started with. Oh, it was so funny. I remember when Finn was like, I have a confession, chat. I've been on HRT for months already. Like, I'm not just a cross-dresser anymore. We're doing a thing. And Finn was like so like glowing and shit. And it was so great.
Aw.
Is there a preponderance of evidence for that? Oh my. Oh my. Oh goodness. Yeah, there's a it's just delightful how many people find Finn delightful. Like, it's fine. It's all good. Anyhow, Bronze Age Lesbos. The island of Lesbos. You know what? I'll make the thing bigger. I'll make it bigger again. Let's get big. And if you want to get big, oh wait, that's a different ad. If you want to be well hydrated, that doesn't. If you want to be as wet as an island in the Aegean, head on over to Epic Water Filters.
Oh my god.
My best work. But weirdly, I think the times that it doesn't work are funnier than the times it does, you know? I don't know. I'm silly. People come here for the tangents.
That was a beautiful one, though.
All right. The island of Lesbos is located in the northeast Aegean off the west coast of Turkey. It's almost Turkey Day. Mark your calendars. And is the third largest Greek island, measuring some 1,600 square kilometers and change. Inhabited since the Neolithic period, the island prospered in the Bronze Age, but was, being only 10 kilometers from the Turkish coast, closer in culture to the Anatolians than to the Mycenaean civilization on mainland Greece. At this time, and it should be noted, the Anatolians and the Greeks were kind of the same thing for a very long time, but never mind that. At this time, the most important settlement was Thermi on the coast, named after hot springs. They called it Hot Place because of hot springs. And now I think about Iceland and I realize humans have never changed in 10,000 years.
No, dude, we haven't changed. Like, you look at stuff like astronomer stuff, like we have black hole. Like, we are not that creative. We're not.
Our planet is named Dirt. We called the planet Dirt. Not home, not the Valley of Civilization. No, we called it Dirt. And it's dirt in every language. It's earth in English, but it's terra in Latin, which is also dirt. It's just every language we called it Dirt. Why are we like this? This is why we can't have nice things, folks. The aliens are looking at our maps and going, these people, there's something wrong with them. How the fuck did they even invent the wheel? Ay. Okay. Hot place. In the late Bronze Age, the 10th century BCE, there was perhaps a significant wave of immigration to Lesbos from mainland Greece, most likely the Thessaly region, and the Aeolic. I cannot. That's too many vowels.
I cannot read that.
I can't. Why? Why is this a European thing, right? Like in Southern Europe, the words are all vowels. In Northern Europe, there's no fucking vowels. We need vowel trade. We need an exchange, and there has to be like a cultural community so that we can have the proper distribution of vowels. Not that English is perfect, but at least English words are pronounceable. Holy shit.
Sometimes. It depends. If you speak English, yes.
Jester said the $2 super chat. Thank you, Jester. And says, when will the Kent Hovind ad be ready? Was I making a Kent Hovind ad? I don't know what that refers to.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a comment from Aunt Jur who says, Ember, can you debate Kent Hovind so every time he says water, you do an ad for Epic?
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Now this makes sense. When will the Kent Hovind ad be ready? Oh my goodness. I need a supercut. I need people help me find videos where Kent says water multiple times, preferably with timestamps, so that I don't have to go through every video he's ever made to get enough waters to make a thing with.
Mm-hmm.
You can link me on Discord. There is a Discord. Go to betterthanember.com. All my links are there, including the link to join the Discord. It's on the website rather than in the video description to try to cut down on the number of assholes who join. Only people who actually want to join will click more than 2 things to get there. So that's why it's on the website. But there is a Discord again. Join the Discord. Send me links.
I'm there too.
To water. Help me find water, and we can get wet responsibly with Epic. Thank you, Jess. That's a great tagline. Oh my goodness. Lawrence says thermi is where we get thermal from. It means heat, but it has been used for hot springs in the plural, the heats. Well, I've got the heats.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the heat. We've got the heats. We've got the. Oh, that's a different song. Never mind. Goodness. Deviant says, it's also called tellus, the earth, which is Latin, meaning ground or dirt.
Dirt.
It's dirt in every fucking language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quote me on that. I don't speak every fucking language. I don't actually. I'm exaggerating for comedic effect. There may be a language out there where it's called the place where plants are or something. I don't know. It's just, it seems like it's every language, you know?
Oh, God, Kip.
Is Kip chewing on your sticks?
She decided to jump up here, so.
Mm-hmm.
Come here.
That's a good question, Andrew. Andrew says,
hi.
why isn't menopause called the heats? You know, like diabetes is called the sugars.
There, Kip says hi.
The Kips.
The Kips.
The
with no
dog
collar.
shaped Kips. Not the other.
This is a dog shaped Kip.
Not the human shaped
Kip shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Kip, all here.
Dog Kip was a nudist for a little while there.
Yeah, she still is. She's not wearing a collar right now because I think my other dog
spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Sapphire Light says even Dapper doesn't know all the languages yet. In a threatening, ominous tone. Oh goodness. One of these days, I'll figure out something that will get Dapper over here, because that would just be... That would be a delightful stream. Yes. Maybe even a pre-recorded thing. I don't know. All right,
Dapper
one vote. I know. It's so fun, especially when you can catch it. Especially, okay, Dapper does a lot of different shows, and they're all very cool for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of them. Anytime Vish is on, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Vish gets vicious
I
sometimes, and that's
love
hilarious
Vish.
too. But I think my favorite overall is Kent with Bent because it's just silly all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, I usually have at least one show a day that I try to watch, and I try to watch Dapper, Kip, and Vish on Saturdays. And I'll catch Bad Sign Sunday if I'm up that late on Sundays. Sometimes I'm not because I have to work early morning Mondays. But yeah, I like the Dapper Reacts with Kip because there's been some hilarious moments over there too.
Yeah, there's so much good shit. It's so
And
cool.
the funny thing is, if Kip is on there talking, it calms this Kip down. So it's a win-win for me.
Kip knows. Kip knows Kip. It's
I
Fifi.
assume so. That's why I'm waiting for the audiobook. That way I can just play it at night or something, and hopefully she will calm down and not wake me up every 5 minutes.
It's a Kiplicated situation.
Indeed.
Ember, stop. These aren't even funny. What are you doing? Oh goodness.
Hey, you made
I'm
me
trying
laugh,
to
so.
bring up. Well, I mean, sometimes that's the parent thing, right? Is like the closer a joke it like you if you have like something that is just 100% funny, absolutely go with that. But if you can't hit it
Mhm.
100%, get it as far from being dead on funny as possible before it just becomes stupid.
Just stop.
Or go for stupid. Bree
Yeah.
says vicious with Vish is actually a good name, or Vish gets vicious. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't bring up the damn video because even though I am here with y'all being online and whatnot, a new YouTube window keeps telling me you are offline, cannot load videos. Am I
The
offline,
hell?
chat? Can you see me?
No.
I feel like you get because I can see you.
This is all a figment of your imagination, Ember.
It's probably true. It's probably true. Yeah. Oh goodness. Oh. So Lawrence is off to the library. Yes, good mental health. Absolutely. We'll catch you later. But Deviant says, don't eat the books, reading only. So just before the show, while I was eating my breakfast so I could take my medicine, I saw one of those things where everything was cake, including books. Like someone cut a book and it was actually cake. And I'm like, I really want to do a thing about that. Like, but so I have a cake. One of the things, because I barter trade with people because I'm very poor and I know other people are often very poor. So part of my payment for the photos I was doing earlier was the mom made me a cake. And it's something I don't even know what it is. I haven't opened the damn thing, but it's something white chocolate strawberry-ish. And I'm like having such a hard time not just like devouring it because I'm saving it for the next time my son is over, probably Saturday. And I'm like, oh, but I want it
Yeah,
like right now.
I understand that struggle. There is a cheesecake in the fridge right now, and it is taking everything I have not to go grab a piece. So
Yeah. So tangents on tangents. The
because
reason
if
I
I grab
mention
one
it is
piece, I'll
because
grab two.
the books make me think of everything is cake, and the everything is cake reminds me I have a cake just sitting in the fridge being all cake like. And honestly, I'm a little bit afraid of it because like last weekend I had my son was over. We just had sandwiches. I used low calorie bread. I used really low calorie meats and Velveeta slices, which are like half the calories of the lowest calorie cheese, and so on and so forth. Pickles and lettuce. So basically the whole sandwich was like 80 calories, right? And I had 2 sandwiches and I gained 5 fucking pounds. My body is just rude, inconsiderate, like that's not physically possible. And yet, so yeah, I if I even look at a cake, I'm gonna gain 10 pounds because fuck physics. We're just getting bigger up around here, Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Equus says white chocolate is an
No,
oxymoron.
yeah. You always
Oh
do
no.
this to me. You always make me hungry.
It's not me who brought it up. Except for bringing it up.
You brought
Someone else mentioned books, which made me think of cake, which made me
it
think
reminded
of
me
the
of the
actual
cheesecake, and now I want cheesecake.
You cannot tell a fat girl who is no longer fat and is trying very hard to be even less fat. Something you can't tell me anything because there is something connected to food about that topic, and then I'll be very hungry. I'm always very hungry. But I digress. Hold on a second. Hold, please. I have to get a thing. I have to walk all the way over here and then all the way back and put my curtain back in place. At least the heater turned off. It was starting to get too hot in here again. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I have here a magical tote full of death. It is a tote full of death.
Nice.
Well, it's no longer full because my son has eaten most of them. My camera's not loving this. Maybe I should turn down the light. I wonder if I can turn down the light. I might be able to. It's white chocolate. It's chocolate and it is white. And they are skulls. They are skulls made of white chocolate. And I am fucking delighted. And now that I've turned the light down, I am delighted. I don't know if I can get it low enough for the camera to pick it up. Maybe I'll have to take my word for it that it's a skull. It just, yeah. It's a very old camera. This camera's like 15 years old. Again, very poor. We're doing our best here, folks. But yeah, white chocolate and their skulls. I don't see why the fact that it's chocolate has anything to do with. Okay, you know what, Ember? You can stop being big. Stop being big, please. Thank you. I realize it's my channel. I can be big if I want to. I can be. Oh, like my birthday stream. Oh, I love that song that I picked. It was called Larger Than Life. I do have a license for it, but because it's licensed, not through the YouTube creator thing, every time I use it, I get a copyright strike, and then I have to send a letter to YouTube, including the full license information, and then they're like, oops, every single time. So it's just a big pain in the ass to use the damn thing. So,
by the way, yeah. I love this background.
Oh, this one? Yeah. I was like, we need... I love going through space, but to talk about ancient lesbians, we need something else.
Yeah.
Ancient lesbians. Or at least I'm trying to. The Wi-Fi is still good. The connection speed is fine. I don't know what the hell the problem is. Why everything keeps telling me I'm offline.
I don't know, but you're online.
We haven't lost our connection, but everything says I'm offline. What the hell? Maybe I pissed off the internet gods or something. That's been known to happen. Okay. Now we have a thing. Let me share this thing and make it full screen. And YouTube is giving me weird recommendations in the background. Never mind that. Okay, and I'll make us tiny, and let's learn about Sappho. Finally. The thing everybody came here for hours ago.
Which Greek poet do you think invented lyric poetry? If you guessed Homer, you would be wrong. Hello and welcome to Ancient History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly.
Wasn't Homer deaf? Or was he blind?
I don't remember.
He had something going on. AJ, where the hell is Waste a Human? What was Homer's thing? Lyric poetry is the idea of putting meter and stuff, like the rhyme thing. That's a different thing. But a lot poems don't actually have to match a meter. They don't have to rhyme either. The format is added for additional structure to kind of like make it a challenge mode, right? Like anybody can just write a story. And the difference between an epic poem and any other story is the narrative structure, not necessarily the meter of the verse, so that it's a whole thing.
And today we're going to be having a look at the life and surviving works of the female Greek poet and musician Sappho of Lesbos. Sappho was so famous that she was often simply referred to as the poetess without mentioning her name, and an audience would know exactly who was meant.
Imagine being that fucking famous that you don't even have to have a name.
Yeah, I can think of a couple people though. They're not famous for good reasons though. So
yeah, often they end up like the author.
Yeah.
It's not because she's the only author, it's because she's the only author whose name doesn't get used. Or the podcaster.
Yeah.
Same thing. So maybe she was like so universally hated. I don't think that was it. I think it was because there were like 4 million people on the whole planet. So if anyone had heard of you, you were literally world famous. If one other person knew who you were, something like that.
Don't forget the easiest way to support us is by giving this video a like and subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out on any new uploads. Sappho of Lesbos.
Yes, subscribe here and join us for all the future live shows and mischief we get into every weekday at or around 11 a.m. Eastern time. Today we started early, but I do a bunch of other shows too, and not all of them on this channel. So, not only subscribe here, but go to betterthanumber.com for the links to all the other stuff I do.
Was considered one of the greatest.
And the link to Lil's channel on the creators page. Lil and all the other hosts who drop by here from time to time, all linked on that page. Subscribe to everybody. We all do cool shit. That's why we're here.
Poets of her time. Ancient scholars included her among the illustrious 9 lyric poets, a list of the most important and influential poets of her age and who mirrored the 9 muses. According to many ancient sources,
the poets used up the muses. That's why there's no muses no more.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so I don't know shit. I'm in the wrong window.
Maybe she just showed the muses a good time and the muses decided to just stay there.
I mean, as long as they're amused.
Yeah. They're muses. They must be amused.
Yeah.
She was just as highly regarded as Homer and just as influential for her invention and development of lyric poetry. Sappho was born on the Greek island of Lesbos to an aristocratic family in around 620 BCE.
Theologically speaking, is that a Greek island? Like maybe politically it was owned by Greece. But again, at the time, Greek and Anatolian culture were kind of the same thing. But never mind that right now. I mean, geologically, we can see the undersea rifts between the continental plates, and Lesbos is very much on the Asian side.
Yeah.
And is known to have been a poet and a musician. Of the 9 volumes of poetry that she composed, only 1 full poem survives, and the rest are fragments. None of her music survives, but she is remembered to have been the inventor of lyric poetry, the plectron, which was used to pick a lyre, the pectus, which was a particular type of lyre, and the mixolydian mode, which is a major musical scale that is still used today in jazz and blues music.
So she invented her own instruments and her own musical format. That blows every modern musician out of. I mean, there are musicians who are very, very talented.
Yeah.
But like, I think the closest we've got today is Wendy Carlos, who like she didn't invent the electronic mixy gizmo thing, but she like abused it in ways it was never intended to be used and ended up creating an entire genre of music from it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Time and circumstance have caused the loss
Also, trans woman, worth noting. Wendy Carlos, very trans. Yes.
of the majority of Sappho's work, but what has survived is incredibly emotive. From Sappho, we get the words sapphic and lesbian, both of which concern themselves with female homosexuality, due to the many fragmentary poems surviving which concern themselves with romantic love between females. Whether Sappho herself was a lesbian is unknown, and uncertainty clouds many aspects of her life as well. She was a daughter of a wealthy family and grew up on Lesbos, which held women to a higher esteem than much of Greece. She grew up learning the lyre and composing music and poetry. She may have married a man who died shortly after. She may have had a daughter named Clace.
She may have married a man who then died. Like, okay, I don't mean to be rude or insensitive because some of us, you know, we do get married and then our spouse dies, and it's very, very sad. But it, like, to live, it's almost comedic, right? Like, you live on the island of lesbians, you get married, pop out a kid, and then suddenly the husband's dead. Not necessarily in that order. It's like, it's almost a praying mantis kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You use the man for the thing you need, and then you just eat his head.
It's a Black Widow thing.
Maybe.
And she possibly had 3 brothers. She was exiled to Sicily twice because of her political views, but she was famous enough to have
First of all, troublemaker, we stand, but also imagine your punishment being exile to Sicily. Like, granted, Sicily was a little different back in the day. This was before Rome, right? So it was like a wilderness island separated from everyone and everything. But, like, can you imagine committing a crime and getting exiled to fucking Sicily?
Well,
oh no, scallops and pizza all day.
Yeah,
Whatever
and you have a
shall I do?
volcano. You have a volcano, so like I will be thoroughly entertained. So please send me to Sicily.
Not Italian wine with dinner.
Oh no. It's so horrible.
Bree says, did Sappho wear leather pants to the funeral?
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, they did have leather technology. Oh my goodness. Andrew says, did her husband die of plectrum? Oh, why?
Oh my god.
statues erected in her honor and coins minted with her name and face on them.
Imagine being so famous, they put you on a fucking coin and you're not even the ruler.
Yeah.
Although her poetry, as well as later works about her, suggest that she was a lesbian, these claims have been challenged. The speaker in Sappho's poems may or may not have been the poetess herself, and later writers drew their conclusions about her sexual preference from these works. Although she is generally regarded as a lesbian poet in the modern day, this may not.
Okay. You can be a poet to lesbians without yourself being a lesbian, right? Like, you know, women can write male characters.
Yeah.
You can write a thing without being that thing yourself. However, to get a deep and nuanced understanding of what it means to be a person in that life, it isn't technically impossible to write from a different life, but it's a hell of a lot easier if you've at least gained some insight into it, you know?
Yeah. And it's one of those things. It's kind of a trope online, but like of bad writing of women when you can tell the author is very obviously male and knows nothing about women. It's just so bad. But yeah, you can write from another perspective, but you do have to have some basis in why how you know that. You had to have some you can't do it without any experience without those people. So like yeah, different perspectives are a good thing to have. So you can write from different perspectives.
Mm.
That was a little convoluted, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of like authorly techniques, because like when I write someone else's lived perspective, I tend to literally just put myself into their head.
Yeah.
Like I use a combination of empathy and imagination, but I also talk to people and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, this is my understanding of this aspect of your life. Is that remotely accurate? And then they'll be like, oh, you are way off base, or surprisingly, you nailed it. Good job, Ember. You know, like I talk to the people with that perspective. And I wonder if that is the major difference between the writers who get it and the writers who don't. Like Stephen King can write an okay female character. There are a lot of women writers who can write a convincing man character. But there's infamously a whole lot of men who cannot write women. Like, or anybody who isn't themselves, you know? It's wild. Jester, speaking of wild, sends a $2 super chat. Thank you, Jester. And says, we're transing the music. I'm sure
That's
the
awesome.
emojis have something to do with it, but I can't quite. My monitor's very bad. I hope y'all are enjoying anyway. But thank you, Jester. There's a lot.
Have been the case. Her sexual preference is not as important as the work that she's left behind, which are her legacy. Sappho's poems are both honest and intimate, and even in fragments, it displays her understanding of enduring human emotion which resonates with readers in the modern day. Sappho invented her own poetry meter, known as the Sapphic meter or the Sapphic stanza, which consists of 3 lines of 11 beats and a concluding line of 5.
It's almost a limerick.
Almost.
Yeah, because I forget the exact beat number, but like the reason limericks are so popular isn't just because they're so easy to make bawdy, but because like there's a beat within the lines, but there's also an overall beat. So it's like it's like a double measured mini poem. Make it rhyme on top of that, and they're like super easy to remember.
Was revered in her own time and long afterwards, as evidenced by the geographer and historian Strabo, who lived between 63 BCE and 23 CE.
Imagine being so famous that you have your face on coins, people don't even have to mention your name, and you're so famous, you're in the geography history books.
Yeah.
That's fucking famous, man.
Yeah.
Who commented in his geography. And along with these flourished also Sappho, a marvellous woman, for in all the time of which we have record, I do not know of the appearance of any woman who could rival Sappho, even in a slight degree in the matter of poetry. Sappho is believed to have died in around 570 BCE, although the cause of her death is unknown. The Athenian playwright Menander wrote of her death as a suicide by jumping off the Leucadian cliffs over unrequited love with a ferryman named Phaon. They say that Sappho was the first, hunting down the proud Phaon to throw herself in her goading desire from the rock that shines from afar.
I'd be very careful about writing poetic verses about the passing of a poet who is indisputably a better poet than you are.
Yeah.
You know, like no matter what you say, it's just not gonna. I mean, maybe just own it and be like, the words I have are just not gonna measure up, but I'm gonna do my best. You know. Maybe. I don't know. But it seems oafish
It's
to be like, oh, she died chasing a man. Maybe she did. Maybe she did. Maybe because to be a poet at that level, you have a tremendous amount of emotion in your heart, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to feel everything very intensely. And even at an older age, like, yeah, maybe rejection could drive you to that. Possibly. But also, as Ryan points out, some dude could have chucked her off a cliff. Like,
that's, I think,
an ancient incel. Oh, you won't sleep with me? Am I not good enough? Well, I'm stronger than you. You know?
It reminds me very, very much of when guys find out a woman's a lesbian or bi, the whole thing is, well, you just haven't met the right man. Excuse me? No, that's not it.
That's like approaching a straight man and saying, and in fact, it's identical, right? Like, I've seen people like do this in like performative skits and whatnot, but still, like, a guy goes up to a couple of lesbians and says, oh, you just haven't you haven't had the right dick. And which is hilarious when one of the lesbians is a trans woman. Then they're like, oh yeah, I passed. But also, they turn around and there's a gay man facing them and is like, oh, you think you're straight? You just haven't had the right dick.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my god. And of course, the second you say that to them, they're like, well, no, that's not it. Yeah, that's it.
Just holding you to your own logic, bestie.
Mm-hmm.
You should be hopping on every shaft you find just to make sure, you know?
Yeah. Rules for thee, not for me. That's what it comes down to.
This has been discredited as a myth, which draws parallels to Aphrodite, who threw herself off the same cliffs, known as the Lover's Leap, while she was in...
Okay, that makes sense. That actually follows. Like, she was such a poet, she went the same way Aphrodite did. Yeah. Except Aphrodite's a goddess, so, you know.
Mourning over the death of Adonis. Although her poetry was much admired, it was written in a difficult dialect, which Roman scribes, who were responsible for preserving the majority of Greek poetry, tended to ignore. Her reputation as a great poetess endured.
I'm sure there was no patriarchal influence. They just, we just don't want to do that dialect. Never mind that the greatest female poet of antiquity, period, happened to write in that dialect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're serious about scholarship and there's something that needs to be scholared at a certain dialect, you learn that fucking dialect. You know, we've got people who come through this chat who have done just that. Lawrence was just here. Kip's done it. There's a bunch of others, you know. You learn the language the thing you're trying to study is in. To dismiss it and be like, oh, well, that's a really difficult dialect. It sounds like motivated reasoning to me. It's like, you know what? We're just not going to write down the poems of the famous woman poet. I mean, I'm sure they're fine, but how could they don't even know the dialect? So they're like, how could they possibly be? They haven't even read them because they don't know the dialect. Yeah. They just said so. Fucking hell.
Through various references in many works, but the pieces themselves eventually were lost. Still, there is hope that many still exist and are just waiting to be found, as supported by the finds in 2004 and 2014 of one of her poems and fragments of others, some of which were unknown to scholars. Even though much has been lost, Sappho's poems live on, even in fragments, over 2,000 years after they were composed. Sappho's legacy epitomizes her own desires, as shown in one of her best-known fragments. Someone will remember us, I say, even in another time. The enduring interest in Sappho and her poetry proves that she was right.
That's prophetic. I love it. I mean, it is just a fragment, but it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Apparently we have one whole poem. So let me see if we can find that. Sappho poem complete and complete. Damn it, Ember, I can't spell. Why am I like this? Okay. University of Houston has a thing, but I don't know if I trust an American university, especially based in Texas just now. It's
if University of Houston has it, then they probably have it.
I mean, it may be legit, but who the fuck knows? All right, this one, it isn't super long, but it looks like it might be complete. It's called Glittering-Minded Deathless Aphrodite. She's sparkly, and I like that. So it goes in English, remember. The meter's going to be fucked because of the translation.
Mm-hmm.
Glittering-minded deathless Aphrodite, I beg you, Zeus's daughter, weaver of snares, don't shatter my heart with fierce pain, goddess. But come now, if ever before you heard my voice, far off and listened, and left your father's golden house, and came, yoking your chariot, lovely the swift sparrows that brought you over black earth, scared one, smiling, with deathless face, asking what now while I suffer? Why now I cry out to you again? What now I desire above all in my mad heart? Whom now shall I persuade to admit you again to her love, Sappho? Who wrongs you now? If she runs now, she'll follow later. If she refuses gifts, she'll give them. If she loves not now, she will soon. Love against her will. Come to me now then, free me from aching care and win me. All my heart longs to win. You be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things, like, it always seems like if something is written in another language, English just screws it to all hell.
Right, like even the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Friend meant something very different in Greece, ancient Greece, than it does now. Like,
Yep.
there's a one of Plato's books. What is it? Lichen something. Oh, I can't quite remember the name. Lysis. Ha! Estrogen brain. Anyway,
Yay!
Lysis is an entire Socratic dialogue about what it means to be a friend. Like, does it mean you're like family but not actually related? Does it mean like lovers? Does it mean like casual hookups? Does it mean like drinking buddies? It's kind of all of those, because the concepts hadn't been disambiguated at the time, but also they're still not very clear. Like, what does it mean to be a friend, or a friend, or a friend, or you're a good friend, or you're a friend? You know, like,
Yeah.
still kind of like that. But
Yeah.
back in the day, friend was often considered like a lover, but not actually married, you know?
Yeah.
Often, but not always.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of another poet whose works have been lost to time? Who are they, and what do their works mean to you? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't...
Okay, I guess that's it about Sappho.
If their works have been lost to time, how do you know anything about their works?
Well, there are people
Other than having,
like,
like,
left a
quotes.
mark on history, even if their own actual words are completely lost.
Yeah.
Like, oh goodness.
I mean, like, I would love to have a copy, but that's just because, like, I'm a historian and I want all the information I can possibly get. So
That's
I'm
true.
all
Like
about the
our friend here said, while much of Sappho's own works have been lost, a lot of fragments have been preserved in quotational form as references by others since then. So that's why we have a lot of the fragments we do. Like, a somewhat short one, and it's probably a fragment, because apparently there's only one intact one, so it may be missing some bits, particularly the end. But it's called Come to Me Here from Crete. And it goes, come to me here from Crete, to this holy temple, where your lovely apple grove stands, and your altars that flicker with incense, and below the apple branches, cold water, clear sounds, everything shadowed by roses, and sleep that falls from the bright, shaking leaves, and a pasture for horses blossoms with the flowers of spring, and breezes are flowing here like honey. Come to me here, here, Cyprian, delicately taking nectar in golden cups, mixed with a festive joy, and pour. That's spicy shit, folks. Like it wasn't even necessarily lesbian. We don't know who Cyprian is, right? Could be anybody, but that was a very clear invitation. And oh my.
Oh, yes.
The spicy poems of Sappho. It's like, it's not even, they're just like, everybody gets so technical. She invented the instruments, she did metered poetry and all this wonderful stuff, and that's true. But she was also powerful. Like, how can you read something that spicy and not like have emotions about it, you know?
And I mean, even then, reading something like that, also keeping in mind, it's not in the original language, so there is going to be some stuff lost in translation, and it's still like that? Like,
Yeah, this is the inferior form.
In the original, and understanding the original.
Yeah, it's great. It's wild, but great. All right, so I'm glad we took a detour into Sappho, because she is, of course, the most legendary creature from the island, but there's a lot more to that island. So let's see what else we can dig into here. In the archaic period, did I switch the screen? I did. Okay, I'm not completely terrible at my job here, which is good, because if I were totally inept, I'd end up having to work for the Trump administration, and no one wants that. I sure don't want that. In the archaic period, the Pentelid dynasty dominated the islands as tyrants, but according to Aristotle, they were kicked out by a group of aristocrats. The island was able to support a naval force, which allowed it to control areas in Anatolia to the east and Thrace to the north. Major city-states dotted across the island included, more names, Antissa, Erissus, Methymna, Pyrrha, and the most powerful polis of all, Mytilene, which was similar in size to Athens in its heyday. The ruins of fortifications and rural watchtowers, perhaps to protect the mineral mines, would suggest that there were sometimes military clashes between the cities, while the presence of artificial harbor moles in several towns illustrates the naval and commercial strength of the island. Important religious temples were built at Clopidi and in the countryside dedicated to Apollo at Mesa. Mytilene had a temple dedicated to Demeter and Kor, while there was a sanctuary to Dionysos at Methymna. Perhaps no coincidence given the town's reputation for wine, as everyone knows. Cybele, the mother goddess, was worshipped in several towns, another link with Anatolian culture. Some of the lesbian cities, that sounds fun to say, some of the lesbians to suffer internally from the rivalries of tyrants and aristocratic clans. Mytilene famously had Pittacos, the guy we talked about earlier, as the elected tyrant, who is considered one of the 7 sages of ancient Greece. Pittacos, again according to Aristotle, was responsible for instigating a new law code, with the sage declaring that laws were the best protection a city could have. Rule of law. Not Christian, not Jewish, fucking Greek. And also Persian, but fucking Greek. Only the most famous of Pittacos's laws was that the punishment for any crime should be doubled if the guilty party were drunk at the time of the crime. That's just rude. Kind of valid, but rude.
Yeah.
Another famous figure from Lesbos was the poetess Sappho, whose skills earned her the title of the 10th muse. So some people considered her like the 9 poets. Another considered her the 10th muse. Holy shit. although valid.
I would concur with that.
Yeah, because like Sappho definitely causes some sapphic inspiration to spring
Mhm.
forth, you know?
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh, I'm still tingly from that fucking poem. It should not have affected me like that, and I blame the progesterone. Damn
Yeah.
it. It's really distracting, folks. Okay, real quick. If y'all have had virtually no libido for years, right? Like you're just not interested for whatever reason, and suddenly it's not just feelings. It's not just it's like there's a fire in the lower part of your belly, and you're like, rawr. It's a little distracting. I don't know if y'all have been through that.
Mm.
Honestly, it reminds me a lot of when my emotions first started turning back on, like I was feeling
Yeah.
things I had no idea how to process because it had been so long. It's similar, although it's different because it's not emotions per
Yeah.
se. It's physical.
Yeah.
Physical
No,
feeling.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan says, so is lesbian supposed to be a diss of Sappho, like calling someone a lesbian? No, it means a person, they took the name lesbian because Sappho was from Lesbos. It's more like the island is a reference to her rather than the other way around.
Mhm.
She was that famous.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The fact that many of right. 10th muse. The fact that many of Sappho of Lesbos' surviving poems seem to deal with love between women or girls led to, in post-classical times, the term lesbian being used to refer to female homosexuals. I should have just read the damn thing. However, the Greeks themselves never used such a term with that meaning because they had an island named that. It's sort of like Crete, right? Like
Mhm.
the ancient Greek didn't refer to people being dumb fucks as Cretans because Cretan meant you were from Crete. It was only later that people were like, you're a dumb fuck, like the people from Crete. You know, much like 20th century people referred to Polish people, you know? Like we do regional insults and shit. It's
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Although
The point is, the people of the time don't do the thing. It's later. Let's see. The Greeks themselves never used such a term with that meaning, and in any case, lesbianism was far from being unique to the island, even if it was a rare subject in Greek art, and met the disapproval of later thinkers such as Plato. Plato, of course. Oh, damn it. Don't be switching around.
no.
Goodness, I didn't want to look at you today, Plato. Yeah. You wouldn't think of Plato as being like a homophobe or something, but whatever. Considering how he loved to wrestle men.
Oh
All
yeah.
naked and oily and shit. During the mid-6th century BCE, the Persians took control. Excuse me?
Apparently.
This is what I mean. Like my internet thinks it's off, but we're still here, but my internet thinks it's off. I haven't kicked the cord. I'm like, fuck. Rude. Where the fuck was I? Somewhere around? Yeah, archaic period. No, go. History enthusiast. Fine. Get the shit off my screen. Ah! Okay, higher than the aqueduct. Okay, during the mid-6th century BCE, the Persians took control of Lesbos, and following the early 5th century, the Persian Wars, the island was once more in the independent Greek. Why? What the fuck is happening?
I think my internet problems got transferred to you. I was having internet issues last night. It was pissing me off.
I wonder if it's the whole internet. Is that why Chris didn't have a show today?
I think he just didn't get out of bed.
The whole internet is acting weird this way. It may not even be the whole internet. It could be the United States. because, as we know, our infrastructure is collapsing at a shockingly fast rate because there's no functional government, no one is in charge, and the people who know how anything works or how to fix it have all been fired because they're DEI hires. So yeah, our digital infrastructure very well could be just collapsing before our eyes. Perhaps this continues to work because it's based on a server on another continent or something, you know?
Maybe.
Purely speculation on my part, but definitely can't rule it out. I don't think this page is going to work for us, folks, but that's
No.
okay because
That's okay.
we're near our normal cutoff time and we did start early, so I'm pretty content. We didn't get the whole history, but when do we ever get the whole history? It's a summary anyhow. It was fascinating stuff.
When's the last time we got through? We got through a whole video like a couple days ago, like a couple shows ago. But
yes, one video
Wait,
out of
what?
the 3 I had set up.
Can I share what? Ryan asked me if I can share. I'm like, huh?
Oh, I don't know. Share
Yeah.
your sapphic energy. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'm just
Share my
folks.
terrible internet. Yeah, I live like in the middle of nowhere, and if you're not wired in, the internet can be spotty. So me and one of my sons, our internet is spotty. My other son has the best internet in the world. So it sucks.
I mean, pluses and minuses. Okay, so before we wrap up, we probably are going to end up exactly on time by the time I get done with all the extra things that I like to do when we close up the show. First, the poll that's been running this entire time. Lesbians,
Yes.
please hit the buttons, like, subscribe, share. 8% said, I love the theater. 12% said, it's a gorgeous island. Another 12% said something Achilles. And 68%, so close. 68, now only one? Yeah. Said girl power. Fuck yes. So that's delightful and wonderful. and thank you all for that. Also, before we go, I want to read our super chats because I'm super appreciative. Because that's how I can't quite afford food with just that, but I can't load chat. It's broken. It's just not loading. If you can convince it to go, then
I've got it.
Go for it, I suppose.
I've got them right here. Jester for $2 says, I think Odysseus is a bag of ham and eggs.
The
We had
Dapper and the Apology references.
Infidel became a match member. Drusilla became a match member, and
that
Reggie
was a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay. Lawrence, the Behold Network said the Iliad gets going, the death spiral begins, and then ends up with basically Achilles making up with Hector's father and giving back the body. Lame. Boyfriend of Achilles was Pericles, by the way. By the way, sorry, I'm terrible with Greek names.
If you think English
Jester
is
for $2. Yeah. I speak English and German, that's it. Jester for $2 says, hot take, the gods were the villains the whole time. Agreed. Jester also for $2 says, when will the Kent Hovind ad be? And Jester for another $2 says, we're trans in the music.
Trans in the music. No? Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm a silly bean. Oh goodness. Well, thank you, Lil. That was
no problem.
I've never had that happen where my internet is still working and yet I can't access my own fucking chat.
This is why me being here is a good thing.
Well, it's not the only reason. Oh my. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm so glad you're here. Y'all have been a delight as always. And If you're watching in the future, of course, hello, future people. If you've made it all this way into this extended edition show, as we fill in for lack of Chris on another day, you must like this kind of thing. You've stuck around for over 2 hours. Appreciate you being here. Hit the subscribe button maybe and join us in future shows. We're here every weekday at or around 11 a.m. Eastern time, and other stuff too. There's a lot going on. So make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications in case we start early like we did today. If you are feeling a little parched after that long show, like I am, make sure to get your Epic water, not just regular water, but, super healthy filtered. Epic water filters, I must say, are so cool. I couldn't fit it into that 60-second ad, but they block forever chemicals and pesticides like Roundup and all kinds of shit that the other filters don't even filter for. Like, that's not the reason to get an Epic filter. I mean, just the name Epic is fucking cool, but never mind that. But it's an added bonus. If you're going to get a filter, why not get an Epic filter? Because they are like the best filters, and overall, you save money over the other filter company. So anyway, I big appreciation for Epic for partnering with us. I'm so thrilled that we have a partnership. I'm sure I'm going to make more bad puns with it. I'm just figuring out how to work them in. We'll get there. I have great faith in us. And as always, remember, you don't have to pretend that you just aren't going to learn a certain language so you don't have to translate a poem to pretend a woman never did a thing. The bastards. Because you are better than, well, I mean, technically religion, but it's kind of all the religions are all a little patriarchal, but you're better than all that.
You're better than all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Bye.
Thanks to all our patrons and top-level members for October. Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkisson, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Kalasia, Lilith, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, Godless Engineer, Jester, Lil of All Trades, Deviant Outcast, and Kelly King, the Detroit Atheist Queen. And you can add your name here next month by signing up at patreon.com/betterthanember, or by joining Emberships here on YouTube at the Cinder level, which includes all the custom emojis, tons of member-exclusive content, member-only live streams, and a bunch of other stuff. I deeply appreciate all the supporters who keep this channel going. Thank you all so much. Because of you, we're building a wonderful community that I'm very proud of.
Just like a spark that's breaking